Dakota. How are you this week?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How's everything been going? Your anxiety still been?
It's been a little up there, a little higher than usual, just with school and assignments and all of that jazz, but it hasn't been super duper crazy. I've been able to manage it.
Well, that's good. And is there anything in particular you've been doing to manage it, or do you have?
I've been trying to get as much sleep as possible, but it's not really happening. I end up staying up quite late to do assignments, get up quite early to get to school, so I'm making an effort, but it's not really happening.
Sleep is a problem. Have you found anything in the past that has worked to help with that, or?
I don't really, I don't take sleep medications. I'm not very comfortable with them. I think it's just more about the time management of it. I think I just need to make the time. I don't have problems sleeping. I could take a nap here right now, but I just am unable to make the time to get to bed before 2 in the morning.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're like a lot of us who like to put things off till the last minute, so you're up till 3 o'clock in the morning doing that homework.
Me procrastinating? No. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So have you tried in the past scheduling better so that you can, does it work for you or not really?
At this point, the effort's there, I am scheduling, but there's just so much to do. There's just so many hours. There's only so many hours in a day. So even though I'm doing my best with work and school and everything, it's not really plausible to get to bed at 10 because I do have so many things to do.
So I'm kind of hearing, and it's almost sounding to me like you're saying you're a little bit overwhelmed with all the stuff at times like this, when you have a lot of papers and that due, that you've got work and school and outside other things that are going on, so it's a little bit overwhelming and you can't schedule it properly without it's like that. So have you ever thought about maybe a way to decrease some of those things at the times when you've got a lot of schoolwork, or?
Yeah, it just comes so quickly. Unfortunately, if I would have known I would have had all these assignments, and hindsight is, right, it's good, but if I would have known that I would have had all this stuff coming up, I wouldn't have worked as much, or I wouldn't have gone out that day, or, you know what I mean? But then you just kind of get here and you're like, whoa.
Before we go any further, I wanted to ask you, did you want a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or I brought some granola bars? I just know when you're running around with lots to do, sometimes you don't get the time to eat, or?
That's very sweet.
So
I'm actually okay. I had lunch and I have a tea right here. So thank you though for offering.
I also brought a few things with me to just kind of offer you as things that work for me or that I've seen work for other people for when they're overstressed or not being able to take that time. Do you find you're getting any time for self-care or for your downtime to revamp, or?
I have time to shower.
That's a start.
That's something I use as self-care. It's kind of my way of washing away the day. So I've been able to make time to do that, but I haven't really been able to make time to go for that hike that I've wanted to do, or take my dog out as much as I'd like. We go for little walks in the neighborhood, but we're not doing anything that's actually very fun. So
did you want to maybe set some goals today around that kind of area, about maybe making little steps? I know you're really busy, but there, if we could find some little ways that you could work things in there.
I think if I wrote it down and listed it out, I would be more likely to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably help.
Work better. Okay, I've got this book here that I found that it has a lot of really useful information on stress and ways of coping with it and strategies that you can use and different stuff like that. I thought you might want to check that out.
Thank you.
I also brought my rocks, so that if ever, if you want to take a rock, or I find them really calming. Sometimes it's almost like a fidget spinner, or just they kind of tend to relax me and whatnot. I also I find for myself sometimes just coloring, having I'm not really good at it. I'm really bad at it, but I enjoy the experience, and it takes my mind off other things. So I don't know, that might work for you as well. What kind of those will help with the anxiety, but I'm just wondering, what kind of things do you like to do for self-care?
Probably showering's a big one, just because I'm able to, like, you know, if you feel like a fresh person when you kind of get out. That's a one I like a lot. I enjoy like making a good hearty meal, like not necessarily like comfort food, like mac and cheese or anything, but something that actually I can feel like it's a good thing for my body, like it's a good thing that I'm ingesting, like vegetables, and you know, balance that with like a protein and make sure I'm getting all my iron, because I'm a little iron deficient, and that makes me feel really good. And then I love waking up after like a good 9-hour nap.
That's awesome. That sounds like you're very self-aware about what works for you.
Yeah, those have always worked for me in the past. It's just whether or not they end up happening.
So you were saying that it works better for you if you write it down, or maybe have a precise idea of when you can do it, or...
Yeah, like maybe if I looked at a schedule and I was able to pick a day where I knew that I was going to get like a full night of sleep, then I could do things the next day rather than wait until later at night, because I've had to like go to school in the morning. But maybe if I just worked with my schedule a little bit better.
So maybe we could make that as a bit of the something for you to look at over the next week or so here. Just kind of watch. Just don't, I'm not saying pick a day during that time, but just kind of watch where your schedule is, so you can maybe see what would be a good time for you to implement something like that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Or like a night to cook dinner.
Yeah, or to, anything like that, right? You know, for you to, where it'll fit in nicely for you with what you've already currently got going on, so that you don't have to add more, exactly.
Yeah.
So, is there, your schooling and all that seems to be going all right now, and it's just the not being able to get everything to slow down, fit into the...
Yeah, only so many hours in a day. I guess I'm just trying to, figure out how to not burn out at the end of this. Like, that's something that I'm nervous about, because I've still got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, once school's over, I'm moving, and then I'm starting work again, like full time, and then I'm also starting another class online in the spring.
Wow.
And so
That's
I just
a
need to be
lot.
able to do all of these things that you're saying, like implement these things continuously. Like, I can't just do like the up and down, because then next thing you know, I'll be down, and I'll have to do something that involves me being up.
Yeah, I'm hearing your concern over it building and not having a system in place for dealing with the stress and time management and everything in there. So I don't know, how do you feel that this is a good way to start to make it so that you have some self-care in there and some ways to deal? Is there anything else you would like to discuss, or I have some breathing exercises if you want those as well? And
those would be helpful, I think, maybe because they just don't take very much time. I think that would maybe be something good.
Okay, so I have 2 of them if you would like them. I have this one, which is more of, I really checked into it over the weekend, and I found that is more of an advance. So if you're having, this is good for if you're not in an anxiety or panic attack, right, to practice, so that when you do get into one, it'll help. But it's not good if you're just starting out and in an anxiety attack. It'll be hard to concentrate on it. So I don't know where you feel you need, but there's for if you're really in a panic attack, the best one that I've found in everything that I looked up is just simply placing one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest, and just focusing on your breathing and feeling it going in and out, and in and out, and just a nice slow deep breathing. And it just is supposed to be the best way to, because you're feeling both in your chest and in your belly. It's just a really simple one, just for focusing on your breathing. This one is a little bit more. It's breathing in, counting to 4, and holding it, counting for a 4 count, breathing out for a 4 count, and then holding again for a 4 count. So it's, do you want to try? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. recount while doing it? Did you find that okay?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good, like, starter for maybe when I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah, like I say, if you were overwhelmed already, I wouldn't start with this one, because it might be a little bit harder, but if you've practiced this one for a while, then when you do go into it, it'll just come naturally to do it. You take this with you, I hope it's helpful. Is there anything else you would like to, that you have ideas that would be helpful to implement into this, or that you would like me to look into for you to help with this kind of stuff, or?
No, I think maybe I'll do some of these readings and then I can come back if I have any
And we
questions.
can go from there?
Yeah.
Okay, and are you going to, so you'll watch over this next week
Mhm.
and just see where you think, if you think there's any time in there for maybe some, I really like the cooking one, it's making me crave food. So, it sounds like a wonderful way to de-stress and to just
Mhm.
take me time. So, I'm just trying to, we've talked about how your anxiety, it's not so much the anxiety as it is more your needing time management and some
Mhm.
self-care in there, so that's, I think that's a very self-aware thing for you to know that where you're at with that and what works for you. And we've got some stress management stuff in here and some self-care that you're going to look to see where that'll fit for you. Is there anything else I can offer you through this, or you just want to look at what you've been given so far and take some time to? So would you like to come back in a week or in 2 weeks? Do you need a little extra? I know that your schedule's really busy, so I just kind of want to
Mhm.
make sure that you have enough time to look at where you can fit this stuff in. So.
Mhm. Maybe, yeah, I'll book something for next week and we can see where everything's at and maybe talk about some of the stuff in these books.
Great, okay, and is there anything else that I can help you with before?
No, I think that's all.
Well,
I feel
I feel like you've really done some good work without anything for me doing, because you sound like you've got your awareness of what it is you need already, so, which is great, that's a wonderful thing. So, well, I look really forward to seeing you next week then.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend.